Welcome to Biz Wire. I'm Joseph Nordstrom in Beijing. We've all heard the story and seen the pictures of the thousands of dead pigs found floating in China's rivers. But what's less well known is that there have been some interesting and productive developments in dealing with the 3 to 5% of pigs that die each year from disease. The appearance last month of carcasses of rotting hogs in a river that supplies tap water to Shanghai, China's economic capital, was a morbid reminder of the pressures facing China's mostly small-scale farmers as the country grapples with food safety scares, environmental pressures, and most recently, a bird flu outbreak. The National Bureau of Statistics, or NBS, says China raised 700 million pigs in 2012, about half of the world's production. Up to 35 pigs die of disease every year, and disposing of these carcasses properly is not simple or inexpensive, especially for smaller farmers. Official government policy is that diseased animals must be buried deep in the ground or cremated. Farmers can apply to receive a subsidy of about $12 for each diseased pig they dispose of in this way. But in practice, pig carcasses are most often thrown into rivers or dumped in a field. Even more disturbing is that a large number of them are sold on the black market, ending up on dinner plates. China's booming demand for meat has the potential to create ever more crowded farms, which are ripe for the spreading of disease. A recent Rabobank report says that pork demand is expected to grow around 20% from 2012 levels to 60 million tons by 2020. Although China is the world's biggest pig breeding country, it lags in carcass disposal standards and related subsidies to farmers. At the end of 2009, the government introduced standards on how to process diseased animals and related animal products. But this has not helped control the haphazard way farmers dispose of carcasses. One obstacle is that small farms with less than 50 pigs are excluded from receiving subsidies for disposing of pig carcasses. Yet, according to the NBS, 1/3 of the country's farms, representing 220 million pigs, have less than 50 pigs each, which means that more than 10 million dead pigs per year are not covered by subsidies. Plus, the subsidies are too low and don't cover the costs of cremation or even the cost of disinfecting a carcass and burying it 6 feet underground. Meanwhile, those who enforce these regulations are often overwhelmed and unable to regulate efficiently. They are also tasked with epidemic prevention, quarantine, and offering farmers technical advice and guidance. The resulting chaos leads to infected pork ending up on dinner plates. Now for the good news. In recent years, certain regions have started to see dead pigs as treasure instead of trash. For instance, Caixin Media reported that when Zhu Fengmin of coastal Jiangsu province learned in 2011 that each year about 6,000 diseased pigs died in his county, he asked himself how he could turn this grim statistic into profit. He invested nearly 1 million yuan, or about $160,000, to set up a carcass treatment plant in his village. The dead livestock goes through a series of treatments, including high temperature and high pressure processing, to exterminate any pathogens carried by the dead animals, and is then turned into industrial oil or fertilizer. The plant can dispose of 150 to 200 dead pigs every day, earning Zhu more than $16,000 in profit in 2012 and enabling local farmers to get compensation of $150 for each pig they bring to the plant. Considering that they can get up to $30 for selling infected pork to unscrupulous businesses, farmers are understandably far more motivated by this scheme. This is Biz Wire on the Blue Ocean Network. Stay tuned for more in Economic Insight.